Hello everyone, this is the Prussian Prince with another Total War Attila tournament match cast. It's going to be the North American Flash tournament number 8. It is round of 8, no, not round of 8, but semi-final match between Hamilkar Barca of FG and the Dorner. And there are some interesting rules for this tournament, by the way. For instance, there are some banned factions. Alans, Vandals, Jutes, Burgundians, Langobards, Ostrogoths, and Huns are all banned factions, and everything else is basically allowed. Then the player on top of the bracket chooses the faction first and the map. As for the map pool, Woodlands, Plains, and Swamp. Both players are attackers, and you can only use a faction once until the finals. And DLC factions allowed if both players have them. As for the army composition rules, max 6 of the same. Max 6 cav, general doesn't count. Max 2 horse archers, does not count towards total cav cap. However, horse archer gen counts towards the horse archer cap. Max 5 pikes, no arch, no boxing, no red line camping as usual. And the semi-final is, by the way, a best of 3. Now let's go over the factions. So we have Danes for Hamilkar Barca and Visigoths for the Dorner here. I'm gonna go over the Visigoth build first. So let's see. We have a gold 3 Gothic general with brace. Then we have 3 of these noble Germanic horsemen on the right flank. 2 are gold 1, 1 is silver 3. On the left we have, looks like 3 noble Germanic horsemen, 1 gold 1, 2 silver 3. Then we have, what else do we have? A Thracian Oathsworn on each flank. Both seem to be bronze 1. Then we have in the center 3 of these Germanic pikes and a lot of missiles. Wow, this is a lot of missiles. So 4 Germanic hurlers up front, supported by 4 Germanic archers. I mean, this is crazy. Like, just barely any infantry on the field here for the Visigoths. This is, if this works, I would be very, very impressed. As for the Danes, though, let's see what we have. We have this Nordic Warlord General with brace. Then we have, looks like 3 Nordic Horse Lords on the left flank, 2 bronze 3 and 1 bronze 2. On the right we have 3 Nordic Horse Lords as well, 2 bronze 3 and 1 bronze 2. We also have a single Warhound on each flank. Looks like up front in the center we have 3 Nordic bands. 2 elite Nordic warriors right behind them, and finally we have the axes, 3 Nordic axe warriors. So as you can see, this is a pure rush build here by the Danes. They're just gonna go straight into these Visigoths, and I can't really see the Visigoths winning here unless they do some amazing targeting onto the axes, because the infantry contingent just way in favor of the Danes here. So if the Danes can somehow kill the cavalry, they can definitely win this, but that's going to be a tall order. But let's see. I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit. Definitely nice job here, just walking into range so that he's not fatigued, the Danes that is. But it looks like the engagement is gonna soon start. Here comes this noble Germanic horseman. I don't know about this move because now these javelins are going to destroy them. Look at this noble Germanic horseman, down 15 men. Here come the Warhounds, but they're not actually going for the skirmishers, so that's a problem for the Danes, that the Warhounds did not go into the skirmishers. As you can see here, they're actually doing something against the noble Germanic horsemen, and now the noble Germanic horsemen will get engaged here. But as you can see though, these axes are already getting focused. The Danes are being very slow in pushing up against the Visigoths. They need to push up before they lose all the axes, because as you can see right now, the archers just targeting that single axe unit and it's almost gone. Here we see more Nordic Horse Lords pushing through, but I don't know why the Danes need to push up before they lose the axes, because it's not gonna look great if they keep waiting like this. This is a rush build. They have to go in. They cannot wait until the enemy skirmishers become efficient. Here come the Warhounds on the right flank just to stop the charge. This is very good. But there is no charge from the Danes, so I think the Warhounds have not really... Oh, they actually have. Very nice job here by the Danes getting a charge off, but the thing is the Axes are too far behind to support right now. On the left flank, as you can see, the Thracian Oathsworns doing very well here. They're going to do a lot of work on these Noble Germanic Horsemen. Thing is, these cav units here are stuck for... 3 cav units are stuck here for the Danes, whereas it's only just 2 of the Visigoths. So this is a very cost-effective trade here for the Visigoths. The Visigoths, I mean, the Danes need extra cav to be able to get into these skirmishers, which at the moment they don't have. Coming in with Nordic Axe Warriors, though, charging in with Frenzy as well, so this cabinet is going to go down, especially as it's unsupported. More axes coming in, so this is going to be pretty good for the Danes here. This Nordic band just not going into the archers for some reason. We need to see these Nordic band coming around and hitting the archers to stop them from firing, because as you can see right now, it's not looking great for the Danes because their axes are taking a lot of damage, and this flank, as you can see here, this Thracian Oathsworn is just being so cost effective right now. But here we have the axes coming in for the Danes. It looks like they got charged by the Gothic General, so some very nice damage there by the Gothic General, and he hasn't lost anything, so that's pretty good trade for the Danes. But the Visigoths still have cav left on field. Here you can see the Thracian Oathsworn just being oh so annoying here. It's eventually going to lose to all of these units, I think, but not before it is incredibly annoying. Here you see the Danes actually pushing through, and the Nordic band, they're doing a very nice job here, just chasing off the enemy skirmishers. This is exactly what they need to be doing, but I don't know what this Nordic band is doing over here. The Nordic band here either needs to probably support the cav fight, I suppose. But here, as you can see, just all these cav units stuck for the Danes. They could have pulled out this single Nordic Horse Lord here ages ago and just gone for the skirms or something. Or even a rear charge here would just end this Thracian Oathsworn, basically. But at this point, the Thracian Oathsworn is holding much longer than it's supposed to, and it's just doing so much damage here. And still, the missiles are now free for the Visigoths right now. And since that is the case, the axes and all the cav here of the Danes can just get targeted right now. And that is not what the Danes want. These spikes are not in position. They need to keep repositioning to defend. So probably they need to reposition over here all the pikes to just be ready to intercept all these units here. But as you can see, the dog handlers coming in, they're going to be very annoying, as are the elite Nordic warriors. Some nice rear shots here into the Nordic Axe Warriors, but still, all these units here are still alive, but the Thracian Oathsworn just hanging in there, doing a very good job. This Thracian Oathsworn also trading quite well here, considering the odds, as you can see here. Still some cav left for the Visigoths. This is very important. Now this Thracian Oathsworn just doing very well for itself here. Still alive, not routing yet. Very nice cav charge here into the Warhouse, but has to be careful because the elite Nordic warriors are coming out here. So nice disengage here by the Visigoths. Again, I don't know why these spikes are right here in the middle. They just need to pull back and defend their skirmishers. That's really the only thing they need to do. Because right now, just by putting them in the center, they're being a little bit wasted. Instead of defending what they actually need to do. And now here, this elite Nordic warrior looks like it didn't get charged properly. So it's actually going to do a lot of damage to these Noble Germanic Horsemen. We need to see the Gothic General. I don't know why it's not engaging this elite Nordic warrior, because a rear charge on that unit would just completely destroy it. Here though, it does indeed look like the Nordic Axe Warriors of the Danes have broken through here, as you would expect, but they're not pushing through. The Danes are they're retreating, and here's the thing about retreating. These archers can continue to skirmish, and this means that the archers, they still have ammo left, so... And all these units, look at all these axes, down to 45, down to 47, 59... 38, so that's not good for the Danes. These Axe Warriors as well have very, very low health remaining. So that's not a good trade for the Danes at all. I mean, at this point, I would actually give the edge to the Visigoths. The Danes have 3 cav units left, which is very important that they keep them alive. But the thing about the Danes is they don't have any skirmishers, and they're gonna have to eventually move up against these against the Visigoths. And the thing is, by moving up, they're gonna get shot by 8 skirmishers who still have plenty of ammo left. So heavy shot into these Nordic Axe Warriors, goodbye, especially if this mistake is made here by the Danes. Some flaming shot here would do wonders. Even standard shot going to do damage against these horse lords right now, because they're so depleted and they're showing their rear, so they're gonna take massive damage here as they try and pull away. But as you can see, the Germanic archers here are just going to push forward with the pikes as well. These Nordic band here, obviously the Danes want the Visigoths to target them, but that's not going to be the case. Visigoths need to spend all their ammo on either the cav or the axes. If they kill the cav, it could actually be enough to win this. But the axes, because then you could just simply route the axes by charging in with cav, because a single cav charge is going to route all of these axes. I mean, any of these axe units can be routed with just a simple cav charge. That's all that is needed, really, to route all of these units. So something to definitely keep in mind here, for sure. But the archers here targeting the axes because they are showing kind of like their back, so they're gonna get shot here and they're gonna take a lot of damage. I'm not sure if heavy shot is used, but it should be to preserve ammo. Even standard shot is still gonna be quite effective here though against these axes, because as you can see, low armor and pretty low health. So now some rear shots as well. This unit is gonna take damage. It's down to 48 men left. Still some units left here for the Danes, some axes here, some cav, but everything is so depleted for the Danes, except the general unit. Everything is absolutely depleted, except this Nordic warrior, elite Nordic warrior, I guess. This is the unit that is in best shape for the Danes, and this could be an annoying unit because it has a lot of armor and it has pretty decent missile block chance, I believe. So that is one annoying unit for the Danes. For sure, because archers will not do as much damage to it. This pike unit needs to reposition here, because otherwise the Nordic van could go into the archers and deal with them. I don't know why the pikes are just not rotating to deal with the Nordic band. I mean, it would be just so easy. Looks like now they're gonna rotate, but this is a wrong rotation because this archer unit could get charged now. Looks like that is not going to be the case. Very nice pullback, and now the pikes are in position. But yeah, again, I would say that the situation is very good for Danes, and I don't know why the Danes are trying to kite against the Visigoths here, because they don't have any missiles left. So the Danes are just gonna the Visigoths are just gonna be able to use all their units very well here. Oh, this is questionable though. This noble Germanic horseman over here, but this does allow this does indeed allow the Visigoths to focus fire this noble Germanic horseman or Nordic horse lord. Which actually makes this not a bad trade at all. Killing this Nordic band and then killing off this Horse Lord. Potentially very nice here. And this Horse Lord does not want to disengage, as you can see here. So that was not as bad of a trade as it could have been. Still though, lost that noble Germanic horseman. But I think it's pretty good because, oh, this Nordic band did come back though. But one more charge is just going to end this Nordic band. I mean, honestly, he could have charged this Nordic band ages ago when it was around his spikes, but he didn't either, so yeah. Where's the charge? Just a simple charge here is just going to end this unit. Just charge in with all your cav. The unit is gone. Same thing with some of these axes. Like, why? I don't know why he's being so reluctant to charge this Nordic band. It's now getting into the archers and will kill some archers. Looks like he's finally gonna go into it, but he might lose some archers here. This is not the engagement that he wanted, but I guess it's still not gonna do any damage to this archer. But it's gonna stop it from firing properly though. As you can see here, now the cav is not gonna go in for the Visigoths. This is a bold move here by the Danes though, just pushing in like this with all the cav on one flank and some getting into the pikes. This is a very weird push by the Danes. Nothing is in position. We have some axes in the back here. This is indeed very strange, and now all these units are just gonna rout and die off the field. Because the attack was not timed right, we didn't see them move in properly from all angles. So all these units are now going to go down for the Danes. We're going to have a cav charge into this Nordic band, and that Nordic band is going to go down, as you can see here. And now we have the Nordic warlord pushing through though, and this could be a problem for the Visigoths, but they still have a lot of ammo. These axes are soon to be out of the field. Some axes over here still though. Elite Nordic warrior is in good shape, so that unit is still alive. But I mean, right now we have these units still left on the field for the Visigoths, and it is the general and the noble Germanic horseman. So they're gonna go in for the Nordic warlord. That is gonna go very well for the Visigoths here. Just look at that charge. It's just going to absolutely destroy this warlord here. Honestly though, not the best engagement still. He could have gone around with another cav and destroyed this general, but it still should be enough. Just still not the best charge onto it. As you can see though, it's losing a lot of men here. And now it's routed off the field, this warlord, so that should basically be game, as this elite Nordic warrior is going to soon go down here. It is using frenzy, so it's going to gain some morale, as you can see here. It has 1 morale, so that is why it's not routing. Gaining more morale here. It's going to be able to potentially beat this noble Germanic horseman in melee, but it's still not going to be enough. And that is game, so the donor ends up taking the first game here. As you can see, Thracian Old Swords just doing very well for themselves, and I mean, just too much blobbing by the Danes. They were unable to get their cav into the enemy skirmishers, and yeah, the attack was a little bit mistimed, I feel, both the first attack and then the follow-up. But that is game 1, currently 1-0 for the donor, and this best of 3. See you in game number 2. This is game 2 of the match. We have Saxons for Hamilkar Barca, and the donor is the Eastern Roman Empire. But it's time to go over the compositions in just a moment. As we wait for the game to finish loading. Very, very, very soon. And there we go. So let's see the builds we have for the Eastern Romans here. That is the donor. He has let's see, Magister Militum gold 3 general with brace. Then we see, looks like an Equites Sagittari on each flank. Then we have 4 Contari, interestingly enough, in the center. We have 2 Tagmata cavalry, 1 on each flank. Silver 2, it seems, the one on the right, and silver 3, the one on the left. As for the skirmishing contingent, well, up front we see a bunch of Funitores, 5 of them, supported by 3 of these Menelotoi, and all the way in the back, 3 Heterea guards, because Heterea guards are insanely good units. Now though, for his opponent, Hamilkar Barca, who is playing as the Saxons, we have Nordic Warlord General with brace. Then we have 3 of these Nordic Horse Lords on the left flank, and 3 Nordic Horse Lords on the right. A Warhound unit on each of the flanks. Up front we have 3 Nordic band, and again 6 Nordic Axe Warriors in total. So again, pretty much a rush build here by Hamilkar Barca, this time as the Saxons. But he does, however, have Nordic Raiders on the field, which are some nice utility units. The thing is, though, that he's gonna have to get into them with, I mean, he's gonna have to get charges off into the Heterea guards with them for them to be effective, essentially. But anyway, time to fast forward it. And gonna send in these Nordic Raiders, I suppose, against the Equites Sagittari. The Equites Sagittari are not really doing anything. Actually, the Nordic Raiders could have gone for them, because they were in range to deliver their volleys. Here looks like the Equites Sagittari will move around and try and target the Raiders. But the Raiders are about to get caught here, so that is something to keep in mind. But now they're getting shot at, and they are light. As you can see, not the best armor and health, so they will start falling at some point, especially as they get shot in the rear. But the Equites Sagittari kind of refused to fire, though. Oh, looks like the Raiders coming in for a charge into the Equites Sagittari, and the Tagmata left the field. So this Equites Sagittari is going to take a lot of damage. It's actually attacked in the rear. So that is not good for the Equites Sagittari. Of course, it still has decent morale. And the Equites Sagittari has better melee defense and better armor and health. So the Equites Sagittari could actually win this engagement and prolong the melee. It did get charged, though. As for this flank, well, you can see the Nordic Raiders starting to target the Equites Sagittari. And they should drop the Equites Sagittari faster, because they've got javelins. The thing is, though, they don't have a lot of ammo, so should be careful with how they spend it, I guess. But here, as you can see, Tagmata's engaging in this fight. So now this means Horse Lords come in, and this is going to be a pretty good engagement for the Saxons, I believe, especially as now axes are coming in. So let's see what else happens. Yeah, this engagement is won here by the Saxons because of this Axe Warrior support. Very, very nicely done. I mean, the Tagmata is holding out here against these units, but Raider looks like he's about to go off the field. But now here's the problem for the Saxons. Looks like the Eastern Romans are sending in units. This Centauri could make it into the Axe Warrior, and that would be massive if it does, because it would actually potentially change the tide of this sign, and it would. Centauri is still coming through though. It might make it into the Axe unit here, and if it does, oh, looks like it is definitely going to make it into the Axe unit. The Axe is now going to frenzy and charge into the field. They're going to get some, they didn't actually get their jabs off, but this Axe unit is gone off the field, so very nice. Ooh, looks like the General Magister Militum got charged here by Nordic Raiders, but that's not a big deal because he's a Magister Militum. Now this Nordic Raider is going to be off the field for the Saxons, so suddenly what was going okay for the Saxons is now going horribly. As you can see, Tagmata is turning it around, especially as it's silver 3. It's going to do much better than Nordic Horse Lords in prolonged melee. Here you see the Centauri going to lose to the Horse Lords, but they already killed off the Axe Warrior, so that's a good engagement for the Eastern Romans. Here this match, just their Militum, as you can see, it's chasing off this Nordic Raider, which is going to be routed off the field and is just going to die. Here this Raider just routed again, but this Ectus Sagittari came back. Even this Axe Warrior came back, but at this point it's just basically dead, so yeah, this Horse Sword has been unable to support this fight. The Tagmata here is, as you can see, it's clearly winning against the Horse Lord. Here though, these Nordic bands, they're being fairly annoying, and they could move up and just, I don't know why they're not moving up to deliver some damage to these Menelotoi or the Centaurias. They could definitely do that right now. Here the Horse Lords here have routed. I wonder if Headhunt was used. Probably not. Tagmata here going to eventually die to Horse Lords though, but not before it gets a lot of kills here. Very, very nice. Equites Sagittari could go around and rear charge this Axe Warrior. I don't know why it's not trying to do that. Would help the Tagmata out a lot. However, this Horse Lord did come back. So the Tagmata here has gotten a lot of kills here. Very, very nice. And it looks like the Warhounds were released and now they're being recalled, but now here, as you can see, this Nordic man trying to skirmish, but I honestly don't know why he's not trying to use the jabs onto this Centauri. It would be a very good move, but he's just not trying to do it. I don't know why, just being very, very too patient with the Nordic man, I feel. Just throwing their jabs into the Centauri would absolutely demolish the Centauri. It's not like it's a heavy unit, so it has 25 armor and 185 health, so it would take a lot of damage from the javelins, actually, if you think about it. But here, as you can see, Horse Lords pushing up here. They're gonna trade well with the Centauri, and very nice move here, actually, stopping the charge of the Centauri with the Warhound, stopping 2 charges and then coming in with Horse Lords. This is a brilliant move by the Saxons. However, there is a problem here, and it's that the infantry support is not there. It is coming though, and an extra cav unit as well. Nordic band here just stopping these Menelotoi. That's a good move, but the thing is, this Horse Lord is just getting focused down by Funditoris. Very well done here by Saxons. Now this Heterea could actually get charged by the Horse Lord, and if it does, it's massive. But it's just gonna get slowed down so much, and ooh, it just died to all these Funditori volleys. So no charge onto the Heterea. Heterea is here to support, so all these units are gonna take a lot of damage now. And still, these axes here doing nothing, these units here doing nothing. Finally, they're gonna reposition to the left. But still, Funditor is on the field, and they're gonna start targeting. I believe this axe unit is next to be targeted, and if it is targeted, some rear shots would destroy it. Horse Lord is going to pull out here, and looks like the Hetereas are trying to pull through to get them. They need an attacker onto this Axe Warrior, and the Heterea is losing so many men because they were pulling through here. That is massive, but this Heterea, as you can see, destroying the Nordic band. Still, all these units doing nothing. This Horse Lord should push into the Heterea. Looks like it's gonna go for it now, and this Heterea is basically gonna die. Looks like a Horse Lord made it into the skirmishers, but is gonna be met with a Centauri. This Axe Warrior beat a Heterea guard, which you're never supposed to see, but the Heterea was pulling through, which is why that happened. Horse Lord here going to lose to Magister Militum. Still, these axes not doing anything, and the Funitores are still on the field. This Nordic band pushing forward in the center is just going to end up dying. Hetereas here as I was saying, did get charged very, very nicely here. So they're going to go down to the Horse Lords. Though they are holding out with, I believe it is Headhunt. No, no Headhunt even used here. But Yekta Sagitari coming in for a charge into the rear of these Horse Lords, and Funitor is still left on the field. We need to see this Magister Militum. It could actually charge this Axe unit and kill it, and then it could go for the rear of this Axe unit and kill it. The Magister Militum and this Kantari just being way too passive here on this side, the Eastern Romans that is. Could just send in all these cav units, but looks like the Hatria Guard is gonna get sent in, and it's just... I mean, this Hatria Guard will just be enough. Oh, no counter charge though by the Haterias. That's pretty bad. Hateria now is going to lose a decent chunk of men to the Axe Warrior charge, even though the Axe Warriors are not... there's not a lot of them. But this is a pretty bad engagement by the Haterias actually. The fact that they don't have an attacker, so they actually are losing here to the Axe Warrior, interestingly enough. That is a very weird train, and it is basically because the Haterias were not given an attack order. So this Axe Warrior is just doing way too much damage, much more than it's supposed to. This Axe now getting focused though by all the Funitores. These guys have a decent chunk of ammo left. Horse Lord here off the field. And now this Kantari charge going to level this single Axe Warrior unit, and can go for another charge, but doesn't actually make it though. Though this Axe Warrior is... both units looks like they're cancelled out. Still, this Funitore is going to stop this Axe Warrior from getting charges off, as this Tagmana Cavalry goes in for the rear and is going to kill this Axe Warrior for sure. And now we have this Axe Warrior engaging the Hateria. As you can see, Hateria finally winning, but it was a very wonky engagement for that Hateria. The fact that it didn't get a counter charge off and then no attack order, I suppose, kind of killed it. I mean, it made it so much less effective. As you can see here, Hateria is not doing too well, considering their price, but the axes got focused by Funitores, which was very important. And yeah, that is game. So it looks like Dorner is going to take the 2-0 win here over Hamilkar Barca, and is going to advance into the final of NAFT number 8. So hope you all enjoyed. If you want to see more, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video, and I shall see you next time.